Said to kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think. Just like the pack of Lewis. Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grind together, we all came from Hunger
up in here. Yeah, late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What's up, my people? Having a good time. Today, Black Panther, y'all. Wakanda forever. You know what I'm saying? The movie's out. It's finally here. You know, Wakanda forever. You know what I'm saying? Out there, you know, we're doing it up. We at the waterfalls. We in the water. We out in the water. We globe trotting. We doing all kinds of things with this movie. So I'm not by myself. I'm gonna throw it right over here in the bottom square. You know him as one half of the dynamic duo of the South. I present to you Keith Cooper. Say what up.
What up, y'all? Appreciate being back on today. Me and Mark made our 200th episode.
Ooh.
6.5 years. So we did our own full review because Mark is aloof. You know, I gotta snag him like a big trout, like if you're fishing, to get a pod done. But that's okay. I'm here today to talk about it again.
Oh man. Okay. Word. And we got right over here. I gotta tell you about this gentleman right here.
No, don't do it. Not tonight. No. Nope.
All right. I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet with this guy right here. You may have heard of GoldenEye. You may have heard of, License to Kill. But this man right here not only voted best dressed, all right, 2001, 2002, and also 2021 and 2022. He was also voted most likely to keep a very fashionable handgun and a martini in each hand. I give to you Clement Bryant.
Those are all lies. I hate guns. So,
Well, it's a fashionable one, though. It's a fashionable.
Nope.
He is a real man of genius.
All right, let's go back on.
So we're here to talk Wakanda Forever. Now, of course, look, before we get started, this is a full spoiler review. We're going to talk about it as if you've seen the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to know nothing, you got to go, and you can come back later, but you got to go now if you don't want to know nothing. Also, there's no gender warring in this chat. All right, if you coming in here gender warring, you got to go. Yes, there's issues. We'll touch them, but you got to go. Ain't no gender warring going on. So I'm going to throw it over here to Clement Bryant. the most interesting man in North America. How did you feel when you saw the credits roll? When you saw the words Black Panther Wakanda Forever come across the screen for the last time? How were you feeling?
Heavy.
Okay,
I
okay.
felt weighed. It's not a bad thing. I felt like I just got hit with an intense wave of grief.
Okay.
And this is kind of what I was saying a couple weeks ago when we were talking about like, the decision not to recast the child, right? And how I kind of said like how you could imagine if they did recasting, how that would affect everyone on set.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it. I felt the grief. I felt it, and we got out of the theater almost like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and the movie kept me up because it was like I had lost my aunt who raised me all over again. Like I took it that hard from the film. The film was good, but I felt like almost a relief from all that grief, but in a way that speaks to how the artistry and how the dialogue and how the story comes through in the movie, if that makes sense.
I get you. All right, Keith.
Commit, you hit it right on the nail for me. I felt the exact same way. Heavy is the word. And a good, like, the art was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But I don't know if I can go through it again in a theater. It kept me up to a little bit for parts we're going to get into, I'm sure. But heavy, whereas the first one I felt hopeful.
Yeah.
This, I felt like we got through a struggle and we just survived.
Yeah.
We kind of did. So that's how I felt.
Yeah. I'll touch on what you said, Keith, with the hopeful part. The first movie, I felt hopeful about the future. After this one, I feel like this is a definite end. This felt like a very definite end to me. I don't know if I really felt heavy after it. When the credits rolled, I was like, you know what? Okay, good job. I have my issues which there are many, but I was like, you know what? Coogler still has not come whack. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like, oh, what's up, Eon 001? I forgot. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. over there in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Look, I get, if you need to get that coffee, you got to get that coffee. but I feel, I felt a certain way about using real life death inside this movie. So I was kind of like, after the movie, I was like, you know what? Not bad. This came, Coogler did it. This is a well put together movie. I do have like issues with themes and stuff, but as far as a finished product, I wasn't specifically mad at it. I don't know. I think I could probably watch it again in the theater because the movie is entertaining. I think it's entertaining, but also, of course, we use real life trauma in there, and then we kind of double down on it. Well, we kind of triple down on it, but what I'm saying, I think this is a movie that I might be able to watch in the theater again, but I definitely get how heavy it feels, and especially since they're bringing it into the movie, how heavy it feels at times. But as far as like the entertainment value of the movie, I was fairly entertained. I was like, you know what? Especially as a way to end off Phase 4.
Yeah,
this is probably the best thing they have in Phase 4. Unfortunately, since it's steeped in and soaked in Black Death, but that's a whole nother thing. Like, it's, as far as like the construction of the movie, there's tons of good stuff about this, whereas the rest of the Phase 4 has been a roller coaster. But you know what? I know we do the good, we do the bad, all that stuff. But I'm gonna keep it on the good because Clement can't be here all night. But I want to get to the good. You know what I'm saying? Because there's good stuff in here. I know we've been talking, and I know people been talking all around. But there's good stuff in this movie. Clement, what's some good stuff about this movie? You can spoil it. It's all good.
And Tenoch Huerta, like, he was amazing as Namor. Like, he had like a ferocity and an anger to him that recalls like the best MCU and also non-MCU villains or antagonists. I thought this guy hit it on the head. He was exactly what Namor needed to be. But I'm also really impressed with, how deeply, his backstory is steeped in Mayan and Aztec culture.
Okay.
But also I love how they touch on generational trauma with him too. Kind of like a lot of our, us BIPOC people do. And I love how that played into his motivations for the movie. I felt like he had shades of Killmonger to him, but where Killmonger kind of used Black people to figure out his own pain, Namor is completely involved in his people and caring about for his people. Whereas, Killmonger did things that I hate. Namor's doing all this out of love and protection. So I really, really dug what they did with him, and his performance was pretty good. It was probably one of my favorites this year.
Yeah, he was very matter of fact about things.
Yeah,
it was like, look,
Namor is like.
It was like, look, hey, now I don't want to have to kill people, but bottom line is I have to kill people. So like it wasn't a situation where he was, like vindictive or anything. He was just like, look, we've been hidden for a long time and we want to stay hidden. And what's going on now? Now they looking and they about to find us. So we ain't playing that mess. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Look, we gonna stay hidden. And we can stay hidden with you alive or we can stay hidden with you dead. So I do like how he kind of teeters on this weird space of like, is he crazy or is he just hyper practical?
Right. Like, I feel like his part of the movie, Angela Bassett, I know I've seen a lot of people asking for an Oscar nomination for her. I think she's worth it. I feel like she brought it.
Man, she brought it just for the outfit she had. Yo, Angela Bassett did not come half-stepping on any outfit.
Nope. But, I mean, also Ruth Carter's costume. Like,
yeah, shouts to Ruth Carter, man.
Like, Ruth Carter, she only had to handle, all the outfits for, the Wakandans. She also had to handle all the outfits for Talokan and Namor, and then also the outfits for, all the government people, all the political people, Ross, Julie Dreyfus, who I didn't expect to be in this movie. Like,
yeah, me neither.
I didn't even know she was there.
I feel like this movie had a lot of pros to it, and then maybe I have a couple cons. I feel like you felt the length of it, but kind of by the time you realize that it's kind of long, the movie brings you back into it a little bit. I do have issues with how Mondo was killed off, but it's like a really small, because I wanted to see your story continue, but that's what the multiverse is for. We need to bring it back.
Yeah, someone comes in and I want to hit Keith on one of the good things, but Eon 001 says, how in the world are we supposed to root for Namor going forward after he did what he did? It's like, it's gonna be, but I mean, look at what Loki did. Now, Loki didn't take like one of our beloved characters, you know what I'm saying? But Loki essentially like ripped the dude's eyeball out, like in the middle, and all of a sudden he's our friend. Like, but going over to Keith, what's some good stuff? What's good about this? Because there's some good stuff in this movie.
Again, I got a second what Clement just said. First of all, I used to mess with you. I'll say like, "Hey man, I'm a Namor fan from the books. I love Namor from the comics. He is trying not to curse on your pod, but he is an a-hole for the most part. But you know what you're getting with him. Like you said, he's hyper practical and insane. He is a arrogance, can be heroic, problematic, crazy, old. He has lived so long, he doesn't back down. So he's one of those people somebody said, I think it was Double Toasted. He's a person, you just gonna have to whoop his ass to make him understand you. Like, it's something you got that friend of me, and you just like, look, y'all might be friends after y'all fight, whatever. Now they ain't gonna be friends, clearly, because they're monarchs. And there's no real friends, they're just more protecting the land. Kind of going to what the comment was just said. You ain't necessarily supposed to root for Namor. You're just supposed to understand Namor as a force of nature. That's just it. Like he gonna be there. He kind of hard to kill, but he's like a pointed weapon. Will he become an official Avenger? I don't think he'll be an official Avenger like he was in the comics. But let's say when Kang or something that threatens the world that affects his kingdom, he's jumping in feet first because he got to and he wants to and he looks for the smoke. So he's like, "Oh, you mess with my kingdom, you got to die. Who's with me? Oh, Captain, I got to work with you, America. In the books, Tony Stark, Black Panther, he's like, now even though he will fight T'Challa a lot in the books, he will give him his respect. He will like, I respect you enough that I know I got to go hard to try to kill you. So it's like Namor only goes one. He got one speed, and that is all of it, all in. So yes, he was great about the movie. I just in general, I guess we'll get more into it, but just to shout out to Winston Duke, he has some great lines, and I love just when he pops in. Still Okoye killed it for me.
Bald-headed demon.
Just the lines, man. Just
bald-headed demon.
Like, I mean, even though he was kind of relegated, but we're talking about good stuff.
He was probably a little relegated, but he showed wisdom because this is over a time for the period of the first, Black Panther. So I just said his little appearance did work good. So we'll get to more of what I didn't like. Of course, since you already mentioned it, I admit I said it on my podcast. The Ramonda death, Queen Ramonda, that got a negative. What maybe brought the score down to what I will reveal what I got it to. It's still a high score.
Yeah,
that one everybody who saw that, mostly every Black person, and they're like, "What?" I looked at Mark. I'm like, "Are they punking us?" Like, wait, what? That was a punch to the gut. So
I'll save that for my band. I've got a whole. I'll save that for the band. On the good side,
that's
on the good side, Namor. But the way he moved, very good. I love the way he moved. The way they animated his movement and stuff, super cool. Very cool. Like, I really dug that. Also, outside of one fight scene, I like the action. There was one fight scene where it seemed kind of slow, but outside of that, man, the action, whether it was the Atlanteans or hold up, are they considered Atlanteans? I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. Talikins,
just
whatever.
Switch
Namor's
the name
people.
out.
You know what I'm saying?
Namor's
Atuma and them. All right, when they was like jumping up on the boat and stuff, that was dope. Then seeing over on the like Wakandan side when they were fighting on land and on the boat, like the action they came through. Even the car chase, I was like, oh, all right, okay, I see y'all. Y'all went bigger and better in that respect, and I really dug that. No, we'll stay on the good stuff. So another thing that I thought was good was the fight between Shuri and Namor in the end.
It was a good
Where
fight
That was good.
to me.
they really kind of went at each other, and they gave them a chance to really go at one another. What is it? Who is it? I think it was ZSB Lou that said there was a moment. ZSB Lou said, "I just saw it a second time, and I must say that there was one particular shot in the final battle between Shuri and Namor that was golden when Namor goes for a punch in slow-mo while Shuri dodges by twisting in midair. I need that on a poster." Yeah, the hits were hard, and they counted. Like they really
Can I
counted.
say this about the fight? It felt like Jack Kirby himself put the pen to those things. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
Because the part where he flew up in the air and slammed her to the ground,
That was dope.
you felt that. Like it zoomed in. Like it felt like, you know, when I say video game-ish, but it was like if Kratos himself was slamming you. You know, there's a difference between video game and when God of War does something. It's like in that caliber.
Man.
So you felt that slam.
Dude, I didn't know Shuri could be so vicious. Like she straight up, like the whole Wakanda forever at the end, and then the plane exploded behind it. I was like, holy shit! Like,
I mean, you gotta be with that guy.
What'd you say?
So you gotta be vicious with Namor.
I mean, yeah, but like, I didn't expect it from Shuri of all people. I was like, dang, like I was.
That was a fight for life.
Yeah.
So
if boy touched the water, Shuri was gonna be in trouble.
Man, I will say though, we talk a lot about Ramonda's death. I feel like, all right, are we gonna move on to the bad part now or what?
Let's go into the bad. Let's go into some bad stuff.
So I didn't really rank the film for killing off Ramonda because there was a purpose to it. I'm like upset because I love Angela Bassett, but I feel like without that death, Shuri does not become the Black Panther. That was like the final kick in the pants that she needed to be like, okay. Like after that, she kind of like immediately figured out the heart-shaped herb thing. So I was like, I feel like she needed that kick in the pants. I wish it would have been something else, but I feel like that was such a powerful moment to see her mom laid out, drowned like that. Maybe you didn't need to show all that, but I felt like it was purposeful, but I'm kind of like jarred by it.
I slightly disagree. And
all right,
this is why. Instead of killing Ramonda, because some of this, if you ever been through a flood, I've never been through the flood directly like that, but seeing people, let's just say, I know this is going to be maybe a cop out to some. Instead of killing Ramonda, just show the citizens of Wakanda, if you got to show somebody dead, people who we went close to, and make Queen Ramonda say, Shuri, look at your people have drowned and died. We need you. I think that would have been just as powerful, and from a non-death standpoint, where she's still there and where she is her guide, and she's guiding her mind as her mom, as queen, standing up to goad her into it. That's why I felt like it wasn't necessary, but it is still powerful. But I felt like it's a cheap cop out that leads something that Mike said something earlier. And I'm probably going to explain this a little. I do feel like this is a finale of sorts of Black Panther solo movies. I hope to be wrong.
Me too. But
I will say this. If Ryan Coogler wants to take a break and however long he wants to take it, if he is not involved, I do not want it. I've come to that conclusion. Because he was able to fly this plane that has been shot, leaking gas, whatever, and he flew it to a safe destination. So I'm gonna go back to what y'all was saying, but that's how I feel about that. I feel like and the queen did not have to die.
I get
that. Right, go ahead.
I get it.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Oh, I'm tired of all of the motivations having to be dead people. Now, Antoine Films talks about this in the chat a little bit, but T'Challa's father had to die. That motivated him. Then T'Challa had to die. Well, no, T'Challa didn't have to die. Chadwick, an actor who we all love and respect, died, but T'Challa didn't have to die. But they killed him anyway, so fine. He died. So that's motivation for Queen Mother to do her thing. Now the Queen dies.
Hell, his uncle died.
Okay.
Being
I'm
Killmonger.
only going to go so far. Yeah, Killmonger had to die. So I'm only going to go so far because we're on YouTube. I know we're in mixed company, and I know my antennas be hot, but everybody don't need to be in on every conversation. But I'll say this: it kind of hurts to have the only royal family in any comic property that's in live action right now with this budget, headed by the people behind the screen that look the way they do, and that whole royal family is now dust. Let's be for real. And this is what I mean by dust. Shuri don't want it. Shuri left. She don't want it. And apparently, we'll get to the bull on the ugly, but apparently they don't want it either. So now the royal family is gone. It doesn't exist. The only royal family that we had in the fictional land that we had as diasporans to look up and say, man, that's some beautiful stuff, man. That's awesome. Man, that's great, man. I really wish, you know what I'm saying? I wish we could do it like that, man. Oh, that's beautiful. It's gone. Yeah. And so then you take that, and then you add in the fact that M'Baku, who essentially is the only black man left in the script, let's be for real. And I'll touch on that in a second because I'm not going to go so far because we're in mixed company. But homie is sidelined to essentially just show how strong Namor is, to get punched out a couple times and then drop like a little bit of knowledge. And here's why. The first Black Panther, we see black men and black women working together to make something amazing. The border tribe, we don't know where they're at. I don't know. The river people, we see them for 2 seconds. I don't even know if they got a line. They might have one line, you know what I'm saying? Then Queen Mother is escorted into the UN with some brothers, but I don't think they ever speak. If they do, it's like, hello, and that's it. Like, so essentially, one half of your whole population is essentially sidelined, which, I don't know, that's a discussion for another show, but for me, I'd say that's bad, especially when this is supposed to be something that is supposed to represent our culture. Well, our culture isn't only half of a demographic. Our culture is supposed to be all us, but I think that's bad. I think Queen didn't have to die. I think Shuri is the biggest problem in this movie, not as far as how Letitia acted, but what Shuri did. Like Letitia, she did her job. Her acting was fine. Shuri's decisions essentially make this whole movie happen. Like, Shuri, okay, we go out, Okoye like, let me go get Riri. Shuri like, I gotta go too. Queen Mother is smart, wise, forethought, all that. She's like, you shouldn't go. She go anyway. What happened? Boom. Cool. Then the whole thing, we gotta go save your butt. Shuri. Then when the Namor and everything is attacking, her mom tells her to do something specifically again, and once again, she's not listening. Shuri, okay, I'll say this and I'll let go because I know. Here's Shuri's problem. Shuri was the baby child, the baby girl or baby boy that never had any responsibility. And all of a sudden, they got responsibility. They never really wanted it in the first place. So now they screwing up left and right, but they got too much pride to say, hey, I'm screwing up. I don't want this. So instead, they kind of stay and halfway hold the ball while fumbling it. And it's like, you're ruining everything. Bruh, she had her daddy. Then she had her brother. Then she had her mama. She never really had to have any real responsibility throughout, at least throughout what we know of Shuri. And that's why she blows it in a lot of cases, man. Shuri blows it in a lot of cases on this. But that's a lot of my
Can,
bad. That's a lot of my bad. I'll let go. Y'all go on.
I got a
Clement,
counterpoint. I feel
Clement hit
like
me with the knowledge.
Shuri was all over the place, like kind of mentally with the movie because T'Challa's death in the movie, she even said herself, she's like, she has all this knowledge, she has all this capability, all this intelligence, but the one thing that she couldn't do was save her brother. She can create all this stuff, but she couldn't save her brother, which is why like it kind of sends her off a cliff in a way emotionally because she doesn't know how to deal with the world around her with realizing that she can't fix everything. And that's why she also intrudes in, like, she retreats into her technology, kind of like how if someone, you know, has a breakup or loses someone, they retreat into their work. Same kind of similar thing here. So I think I see your point, and she can be a little, you know, hard-headed, like a lot of us can be.
Little.
But I feel like with that, and that's not a male or female thing, that's just saying like the character. But I feel like because of her trying to reconcile her feelings with T'Challa's death and not being able to fix it, that's why she's doing all this stuff. And that's why you also see her like kind of delve heavily into the whole vengeance thing harder than a lot of other characters in the movie. Because she's trying to figure out how to piece her world back together.
well, can I say, and two counters to your point, Mike? You're not wrong. She is a hothead. She is hard headed, but that's how the character kind of always been in the books too. She's always been a hothead. Because she's always like, "Hey, I'm like, I'm smart. I should get a chance." Even through Reginald Hudlin's run on it, Shuri was somewhat, not say jealous of her brother, but she was ready to contend to fight to get the Black Panther all the time. So she was ready to prove herself able. Now that, as opposed to this version of Shuri, she didn't really want the responsibility to be leader because she'd rather be a scientist, but she is a hothead, but she don't want to be told nothing. And that's fine. That ain't, not a woman thing. That's just a Shuri thing because that's who she is. That's the character's fatal flaws. But I will say, without her being a hothead, we don't have a major conflict. So she had to do something.
You can still have a conflict without her being a hothead. You can have Okoye go to meet her and be like, "Oh snap, the Atlanteans." I'll just call them Atlanteans for now, whatever.
Yeah.
The Atlanteans, they're already here. They already have her in their custody. I have to fight to get her out. There's tons of ways to do this. In the TV show House of the Dragon, I only watched like the first 2 episodes, but the king, his wife dies trying to have a baby, right? And it's like, I don't know, if someone watches in the chat, let me know. I don't know if Clement, if you watch it or whatever, but after like 60 days, the council is like, look, we know you feel sorry about your wife, but you need to produce an heir because you have an obligation. You have a duty to your nation, your town, or your state. The bottom line is your daddy dead, your brother dead. It's sad. It sucks. It's tough. But you see your mama out there working, right? You have a duty. You don't get to hide. We don't get to hide. You think Okoye don't want to hide? You think Ayo don't want to hide? You think your mama don't want to hide? The love of her life, gone. Her son, gone. But you see her going up to UN, right? Suck it up. You have a duty, an obligation. You've been babied too long. Now, I know people going to be like, "Oh, Mike, you wrong. You wrong, NERDSoul. You wrong, dog." No, that's what they did in House of the Dragon. They was like, you need to find someone else because you need to produce an heir. Because your brother crazy, and he trying to pull a coup. That's what they told him, and it's true. See, that's the thing about monarchies that they don't tell you. They're like, "Oh, it's so beautiful. The prince rides off." No, there is a duty to your country or your land.
I'm glad you mentioned about monarchs because that's a good point. This is why you don't want to be under a monarch. As much as I do love Queen Ramonda, but Okoye, now minus her being so loyal to the throne, she got blinded by Killmonger and other stuff. Mm-hmm. But Angela Bassett snatched Okoye's. She snatched her butt all the way off. She's like,
She said, "Turn in
I
your
had it with
badge."
you. She like, I
Yeah.
had it with you. She like, I done lost my son. I done lost my husband. I done lost my daughter with you. And you helped overthrow my country. Like you didn't do like she was about to like snap on her like herself. Like you are out of here. Like y'all like she was one step away from having her executed. Like
But
you got
but
to go.
who made that situation happen? Who made that happen? Shuri was supposed to get in the car.
Sure should have
Shuri
went.
closes the door and tells the car to go on autopilot. Who made that happen? Shuri made it happen. Now we got to go save your stupid butt and cause an international incident.
I mean,
Namor got to strike back. Someone came it now. Someone could on Namor's side, if he had a council or whatever, be like, "You kidnapped the princess, bruh. What you think was gonna happen?"
Right.
Like,
I
you
mean,
kidnapped the princess. Did you think they wasn't gonna come in? Did you think they was just gonna let her be kidnapped? You know what
if
I'm
I
saying?
think they could have expanded upon this, I think this is where Tuma, who, you know, in the books he has overthrown
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atlantis before and they had issues. Now, in this version, I don't think Atuma can even raise a hand to Namor because Namor will crush him,
Nah.
which generally he can, but Atuma is strong. But this is where Atuma probably would have been like, yeah. But Atuma is more warlike than Namor usually, so it wouldn't have been. It would have been about the same weight.
I feel like they
So
planted a seed for Atuma though. If there's going to be a Black Panther 3, I feel like they planted a seed at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
When Gamora goes and questions Namor's decision to be like, why are we allying ourselves with Wakanda? Like, I feel like that is the perfect jumping off point for him.
He'd be like,
I
"Yo, man, that girl took me to the rack for a second. I wasn't expecting being in the desert. They lured us out here in the water. We had us thinking we was gonna win. She took me to the desert, bro. You didn't see it. She was hurting me."
I'm gonna say if Atuma takes up, I don't really want that in Black Panther 3 because I feel like after 2 we done it with Atlantis. However, if say the Masters of Evil start making alliances, maybe just maybe Namor loses his kingdom and he finds himself butt out, looking crazy, and he gonna have to swallow it. He ain't gonna be able to yell Imperious Wreck. He gonna have to swallow his pride, and that's always been Namor's biggest weakness is his pride. If you hurt his pride, you got he don't want to be a hero. He really don't.
Nope.
But he will get his kingdom back. So I do feel like that is a way you take the character. If I don't know if old boy is alive. I mean, he got bumped off the ship. He didn't see him no more. I don't know.
True.
It's up in the air. So it's like he may or may not have survived. But if he survived, then I think that is an arc that goes in another story where maybe who knows with Kang. Maybe Kang say, "Hey, what up, Atuma? You tired of you a good soldier? Why don't you holler at your boy for a minute? Let's just do this."
Let's do this. All right. So Clement, I'll start with you. What's the ugly? We got the good, the bad. What's the ugly? What's the ugly?
Ugly? I don't know. I don't really have an ugly for this one. Keith,
Okay.
I got an ugly.
Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, hold up. You going, Keith? Jump out and jump back in. You're going robot real quick, and then we'll stay rocking for a second. Just jump out, jump back in. But yeah, to go off of that, I wouldn't be. Well, I guess if Atuma does something, I guess that maybe that'd be better for a Namor related project or something, because this does seem super. It seems final. It comes off as a final thing. Like this is like, hey, we done, we finished. This is gonna be it.
That mid credit scene.
Yeah, that we'll get into that. But all right, Keith, what's the ugly? What's on your mind?
I'm sounding better.
Yeah, you sound good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. The ugly, as much as I did like some of this new character. However,
Mm.
Ironheart's suits, it felt very Power Rangerish, very Mecha Zord, Robotech-ish, and I just hated the red. I mean, that's just me. I need to see a slimmer fit suit in the future for whatever the hell she's doing. I like the character. I like the things that she did. It just didn't. I feel like we didn't even need the suit. It was like, eh. But also, this wasn't ugly, but it was so funny to me. The great line of she got an Iron Man suit. That brother, like who wrote that? Who put that dialogue in there? We get it. We get that she likes Star Trek. We get that
She got an
we're gonna,
Iron Man suit.
she got an Iron Man suit. I'm like, the only word that brother's like, what? That was goofy. But I feel like there's a version of this movie where if Riri just, like we got to go save her, and then she don't even suit up, it's okay. I feel like there's something that could be pulled another way, but I'm not tripping that it happened. But I just felt like the graphics on the suit was just kind of goofy. I just like, I could do without this for right now. I need to see a different version of this Ironheart suit.
Well, we very may, because like she left that suit in Wakanda. Shuri was like,
Shuri's like, look, I got love for you, but you can't take that.
No. And so I feel like we'll see another version of the suit. And I also kind of think they knew. They were like, maybe not with this.
All right, so here's the ugly. I got a few uglies. The Midnight Angel suit looked horrible. It looked horrible. I did not like it. In my opinion, it did not look good. I was in agreement with Okoye. I did not favor it. And then when she wore it, like the kind of like cul-de-sac, when it went back with the cul-de-sac and it looked like she had a receding hairline. Nah, nope. Not for me. Nope. Not for me. Let's take this back, do some more concept art. No. And then also, yes, the kind of the Stark Tech / Riri Tech / Power Rangers. Let's take it back to the. I know it's Wakanda Tech, but it's also with Riri.
It was too shiny.
Shiny. It was too slickety. It was straight off the lot. Like we needed some more. Maybe something that had a little, maybe more bulk, maybe less bulk. I don't know, but it's something more rugged looking. Something that looked
rugged
like
is the word.
Maybe if she built something that had more of a mechanized look to it, instead of almost like she was a robot in it. And now y'all also missed, if y'all gonna make this about Black culture, y'all missed a perfect opportunity for her to have her own Jarvis, but for it to be Jamel, and like Jamel be like, "I shorty checking on the right. You got two bad guys."
Hey man, you know what?
Yo, circle around. Circle around.
Cause she's from Chicago. You could have had, maybe some Chicago dialect, or like you said, Jamil. Hey, you could have had Jamel Hill in it. I don't know, something.
But yeah, those, and then okay, I'll get to my last ugly thing. Well, there's two things. One, the post credit. Let's go in and talk about this post credit scene. I don't want a consolation prize for the character that you killed off that you didn't have to kill off because y'all felt a certain way. I don't want a consolation prize. It just, I mean, I guess it's nice to be like Nakia has a child to love that's I don't know. I'm not I mean, the kid is cool. It's a cute kid. He has a funny laugh. But I don't need that. That and the fact that I feel like I still feel a funny way about his death. And this is what I mean. If anybody, and I know It's all about family. But if you saw, what was it, Fast and Furious 7, where Paul Walker passed? Was it 7 or 6? 6 or 7, one of those.
7, I believe.
The way
7.
they handled his passing in the film, as opposed to the way they handled Chadwick's passing in this movie, like, I don't know if this is the right terminology to use, but this is, without better terminology at the time, it's almost like they used Chadwick's death as a crutch in this film. And it's like they kept referencing back to it, kept going back to it, instead of like making a movie, even if you wanted to be like, T'Challa's gone, but it's almost like they kept trying to push the idea, like, don't forget, he's gone, make sure to grieve. It's just like, man, I get it, the man's gone. And like, I don't think this movie should be about him being gone, but the kid is cool, Nakia is cool, and I mean, at least we know, or at least the way it's played up, it doesn't seem like he's a baby daddy. It seems like, with the fact that the Queen Mother knew, and let me know, Clement, let me know what you got from this, or Keith too. With the fact that the Queen knew about the child, match that with the fact that in the first movie, we know that Nakia didn't want to be involved in a whole bunch of like, like glitz and glam of the royal family kind of thing. I think they had a secret wedding and they went off and did their own thing. And she didn't want to be like a queen. She didn't want to be like, like the robes and this and that and all that. She didn't want to go through all that. So I think they had a secret wedding and then he passed. Now, I could be wrong, but Queen Ramonda doesn't seem like the type that's going to let y'all be shacking up. And yeah, I said it, shacking up. Ain't going to be no shacking, all right? You love this woman, all right? Make this woman
Can I just jump in right there?
But I could be wrong.
The Queen, I don't think you're wrong, but I'm gonna go way off with this. This is where I'm gonna lead into another point. Kid was cute. I can see where you just said the kid was a spy. They always let her know she was a spy, she was exiled or whatever. So she was never really feeling them royals. Like talking about she loved her T'Challa. She wasn't trying to be involved in all that,
Word.
And I guess when you factor in the time jump, the skip, and then the other things. So at first it was like, why is he this age? But it's like, oh yeah, he was snapped for 5 years. So even when he came back, whatever, this still tracks about the kid's age or whatever.
Yeah, because he looks 7-ish.
I would say like 6, 7,
like
8,
6 or
9.
7.
I don't know.
Because that weird age where, depending on the height, you could be 6 or 9.
Yeah.
Depending on how tall the kid is.
Up against 10. I feel like he could even be 10, but depending on the time jump. But I will say that I'm gonna look at the kid as more as a homage to the legacy of Chadwick. This is where I believe this is so final that people like, I'm not even going to dare say, oh, the kid will be this, whatever. Now, somebody said, what if the kid get aged up like through a wormhole through Kang or something? It's possible to do something crazy like that. I also believe that this is it. Far as like, I felt like when I saw the kid, and you see Shuri was just like, I really don't want to be a royal anymore either. I'm chilling. I'm done with all this for a minute. And then Baku is like, pretty much, I guess he gonna be the Lord, because you can be the king without being Black Panther. You can be a king. Yeah. It's been established in the comic books. You can be a king of Wakanda. So that it leaves these things open, and it don't put a stamp on it. So it's like you make your own conclusion, kind of like Watchmen, until we come back to pick up right where it's at. But if I had to guess, I don't know if I'll say this: if we get a Black Panther 3, and I said this on my review, I'm kind of okay with not touching Wakanda again for a while, and this is why. With all the death, with all the craziness, I don't care if it's Shuri. I don't care if they recast Shuri. Letitia Wright did good enough as Shuri, as Shuri being the Black Panther, just give me an adventure. Next time, I don't need no heavy. I don't want it to be heavy. I dealt with this. It beat me up. It was a good beating. Great. I was artistically beaten. I don't want to be beaten up no
Artistically
more.
beaten.
So I don't like cool. And if they cut the kid out and they never bring this up, I'm gonna say that was just a nice homage in my mind to Chadwick. But if there is a Black Panther 3, I don't even need to be in Wakanda. Black Panther can just, all right, now it's time to go out, go do something, go pair up with somebody, go do some superhero stuff. I'm done with the thing. Unless they write another dope geopolitical thing. They touched upon enough of it with Queen Ramonda. If they give us a lot of that or whatever, cool. But if they're not gonna do it, it better be Ryan Coogler. I don't care who is the Black Panther at this point.
Yeah.
Bigger than the actor. If Ryan Coogler ain't in it, ain't making it, I don't want it. I'll say that. As good as this came out,
I'll push back on that slightly because I think that's the kind of energy that had us in the space where we didn't get a new T'Challa. I think that there's someone else that can still make a dope Black Panther movie. I don't know who that is, he or she, who that person is, but I don't think Ryan Coogler is the only person that can make a Black Panther
I'm
movie.
afraid that if he ain't involved, they're gonna go left. And they're gonna have somebody. That's what I'm afraid of. It ain't because I don't think nobody else can.
Like I don't think Steven Spielberg should make it, but
I agree with Keith. I feel like I wouldn't want it either. I'm not saying no one else could, but it's the way in what Wakanda and Black Panther is portrayed with such like an intelligence, but also heart. And and like Cooler doesn't miss on the details. Like, he changed up. They changed up Namor's agent, his origin, but it made sense. It was purposeful. It's not just like they did it to do it. And so, for me,
and it didn't change the character.
Right. Like everything that Namor was there. It's just they changed some things around it. I wouldn't want to see it without Coogler either.
Yeah, like
I don't know. With me, I'm like, look, give someone else a chance to step up and do their thing. I think a lot of times Hollywood does this enough where it's like there can only be one. I think someone, and I mean, Mr. Coogler, I know you watch the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think the movie's cool. I think the first movie is cool. I enjoy them. But Wakanda looks more like a city than a country. Like, I mean, let's come on. Let's be for real. Let's be honest in this one. So, is there someone else that I think that can make Wakanda look more grand? Yeah, I do. Do I know who that is? No, but I'm sure that out of all the directors in all the world, yeah, I think someone else, another Black director, can do just as good a job. Now, do I think we should be throwing this to Bryce Dallas Howard? I got love for you, girl, but this one ain't for you.
I don't know. Like, I feel like there's tons of directors that could do it, but like I wouldn't want it.
I feel like where do we go with Wakanda? I mean, I guess we'll find out in the story. I guess if they still doing a TV show, that's where it goes. However, in the movie, I don't know if at this point in time, if another movie can cover all of that. Maybe I feel like that's disingenuous to the character himself, whether whoever Black Panther, if it's T'Challa, Shuri. I just want the character to keep doing more heroic stuff. Me personally, just adventure, go somewhere else, because I feel like it's just, if they don't go with Coogler, I feel like it's gonna get weird. I'm gonna say, look, I don't want Wakanda to look like that Dust Bowl of Shang-Chi land. Like, I don't want that garbage. Okay, you do that, and you will hear from me complaining and moaning a lot. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, I do trust Kevin Feige to do a good product, But I feel like this is one of those products where Coogler is the man in charge. Like he is the man of
Yeah,
this
I
to
agree
do
with that.
this. So I want to go. It's not that somebody else, but you know what they say, it just works. You know what you're getting with Coca-Cola. You know what you're getting with, like, I don't know, when you Xerox something, it makes it happen. It just does what it says it do.
I mean,
That's what
I get it, but I mean,
Yes.
I think if you have that, then we don't have these awesome recasts with these great other, with these great other directors. We don't have these great sequels. We don't have that kind of stuff with other properties if we stick to stuff like that.
Well,
That's the only reason I feel like that. I will say, well, hold up, Clement. Let me ask Clement, do you have the bounce? I don't know if you have the bounce yet or not.
I should probably bounce.
All right, cool.
Bounce, but I have
All right.
one more thing to say.
All right, go on. Do your thing.
I like Coogler, and I like the fact that technically Ironheart is now a spinoff of Black Panther. I like that, and I like the fact that Coogler is producing Ironheart. He's producing.
Yes,
Ironheart. So I'm like, let's do it. And honestly, he's had 3 villains: Claw, Killmonger, and now Namor, and all of them have been good. I would have I do want to see more of us like directing and everything like that. And we have a black director for Captain America 4, which is great. But with this franchise, it's kind of like James Gunn and the Guardians franchise. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I gotta have Coogler. That's just me. I gotta have Coogler.
All right, it's just
I can see if
it's just
was old, but
it's like,
young, man.
well, I mean, this is why I push against that, is because I don't want us to get stuck in the, there can only be one, because they do that to our community a whole lot. They do it. Say, it's black excellence. He's the only special one that can do it. Can't nobody else do it. There's mad other brothers or sisters that can do this. Oh, nope, he's the only one. And we get caught in that cycle over and over of like, this is the only woman that can do it. This is the only, she's the only one that can be the actress for black people at this time. And it's just like, there's mad actresses that can be doing it.
I'm just more so saying selfishly,
selfishly,
just for Black Panther. But yes, Disney, Marvel need to bring more of us in this, because as like on the flip side, like DC, as dope as I love DC animation, Kerry Randolph can't be every black person. He does a great job when he does it, but he can't be 80% of black males in his universe. He's like 80, 90%. He does a good job. He don't miss. But however, we need some variety.
I mean, look at what Hollywood's doing right now. I got love for him. But if you saw the trailers before Black Panther, like, apparently Jonathan Majors is the new guy that Hollywood's going to have. He's going to be.
Well, he's going to be.
Jonathan Majors is Hollywood's new black guy, as if there's no other black guys that are out there acting. No diss to Jonathan Majors. He's awesome. But he is not the only awesome brother out there. But this is what you can see the trailers and be like, oh, so this is Hollywood's new one. Okay.
To be fair, Jonathan Majors is American, right? He's actually,
I think maybe.
So be happy that it's actually an American black guy instead of a British black guy that's sucking up all the roles. And he's only got he got the Oscar bait kind of movie coming out, the Aviator.
Devotion.
Got Devotion. I'm probably gonna skip it.
Devotion, Creed, Black Quantumania. He gonna be Kang, so that's probably like 2 more movies.
I'm just saying that's technically 3 projects. That ain't. I mean, we don't get all the projects.
Bro, we don't even know about stuff that he's shooting now that they just ain't dropped the trailer on.
Yeah, I will. I'm sorry, man. He gonna be
that is probably like that is probably a strategic decision by Marvel to those trailers in front of this movie to build him up before Ant-Man comes out. That is probably a strategic decision. Like,
okay. But anyway, before we go further, Clement, final thoughts. Where can they find you? Because I know you got to bounce.
Black Panther, 4 out of 5 stars. Great movie. I don't know if I'm gonna see it again, but if I do, it's gonna be well worth it. Twitter, Instagram, @Clamer Bryant. Don't listen to Mike. I don't like guns. I'm not the international man of mystery. Okay.
Just a real man of genius.
He uses a knife this week.
I don't use nice. I use my wit and intellect.
Real man of genius.
He tricks you into killing your own self.
Okay.
Come on, man. You can't be an international man of mystery without people dying. They gotta
But
die.
I'm not though. I'm not.
You gotta stop the threat.
I ain't stopping no threats. You look at me like Steve Urkel. Anyways, peace.
All right, peace.
Later.
So I guess I will say this. Another thing about, because I know we've been on for like an hour. We ain't gonna keep y'all all night long. When Shuri saw Killmonger, when she thought she was gonna see her mama, I was like, interesting. Yeah. You want to know why? Because you ain't been living your life right. You know what I'm saying? You should have gave your life to Bass, but you didn't. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do that. You should have been washed in the blood, but you didn't. You didn't believe in that. So now, with your little vengeful self, guess who you seeing on the ancestral plane? Someone else who's vengeful. Killmonger. And I love how Killmonger was like, you thought you were going to see somebody else, didn't you?
Now that you frame it that way, I do like it, but I wasn't feeling like, I was like, I'm done with Killmonger. I'm like, this is cool, whatever. But it's like, this dude
but he is part of the Black Panther lineage.
He is. But it's like, and I have to knock Shuri for that. It's like, man, I guess I didn't see it coming. Like, of course, yeah, she could be like an atheist because of how she is. And she didn't believe. Like, but it also feels weird that it's like, did you not see your brother go on these vision quests? I know you didn't ride with him to the other plane, but it's like between your dad, your mom, your uncle.
She was just anti for the sake of.
How the hell? Like
Shuri's just anti for the sake of. She's just like, I don't believe in this stuff because I just don't believe in it, because my character is written to not believe in it.
It just but it's like, for the country is so steep in techno, the combination of techno and spirituality, it seemed like you would pick up on both of it. But I guess she has to pick up on it now post all the tragedy and stuff. But
shouts to Antoine Film said, Killmonger, true king of Wakanda. All that Challenge Day stuff is over with. Man.
Still burnt the herb, though,
Shuri believes in science, and science are things you can prove. And she saw with her own eyes the ancestral plane. So she got to give that up. She got to let that go. She went over there and she saw Killmonger. And Killmonger said, I'm going to tell you why you seeing me. You seeing me because you mad. And even
I do like one thing that he said, though. One thing that he said is like, hold up. Don't you knock your mama. Your mama saved the lost, child from the lost tribe, and you insulting her for how she went out heroic, because Queen Ramonda went out like a G. She gave her last breath and everything to say Riri and all this other stuff. So Killmonger was right on that part. Everything else, I'm just like, just like this.
Killmonger, and if you look at the end of the movie, when your boy Namor is like, oh, don't worry. Oh, she won this one, but she ain't got no allies. And when she weak again, that's when we go on strike. See, Killmonger's right. She should have killed him. She should have. But of course, if you kill him, then you don't have Namor for other movies. Of course. You know what I'm saying? But
that's why I believe this is it for a solo Black. Those are some holes, but I just believe this is. I think Marvel is getting what they want. They ain't gonna have to deal with Black Panther as a solo lead character for a while.
I think Black Panther, as far as the films are done, you'll see the character every now and then.
You will see the character in the Avenger movies.
Now I know Geeky Andre said she didn't say that she didn't want to be queen, that she had something to do. But notice, she didn't say she didn't want to be queen, but she also did not step up and take the role like she was supposed to. So during the time that she was supposed to be doing like her royalty duties, she was locking herself in the lab. That girl don't want nothing to do with the royal family, bro.
The fact
She
that
don't want no real
M'Baku
responsibility.
showed up solo for the challenge day spoke volumes to me that these just fit. This is. It feels like when a series is over and you see these things happen, as like, you know, shout out to Atlanta. We took time away to do this before we even got to Atlanta. I still got to watch.
Yeah, because we'll be talking about Atlanta's finale tomorrow.
You know, we got all this finale, this final finality.
Yeah,
it felt final. It just felt final, y'all. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it. I just don't feel like.
Yeah, it definitely felt like this is it.
Do I need another Black Panther movie if it's going to be like this? I don't know. I need something different. And that's just me. Like, you know, if it's Shuri, I'm not even going to bring up recast anymore. They have proved, they have beaten it to death. We get it. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen in this timeline of the MCU. It's just not.
No.
Unless they got a curveball.
I'll say this. For everyone wanting someone for young Black boys to look up to, because see, in the first Black Panther, and I know we in mixed company, so I'm not going to go but so far, but in the first Black Panther movie, there were people for Black girls and Black boys to look up to. Great. In this movie, there's no one for young Black boys to look up to. Don't give me M'Baku. The dude does not have the screen time. He does not have the presence. He doesn't have the lines. He doesn't have the heroic moments. He don't got them. Black boys had no one to look up to in this movie. They just didn't. Now, whatever you want to do with that is what you want to do with that. But they didn't. And that's a whole nother show, but they didn't. This movie, not only did it feel like it was over, but it felt like there's no one for them to look up to. There's no one. There's no one to be like, oh man, I could be like that when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? And I know people are going to say, oh well, that Black boy can look at this person. Okay, cool. But if that's your answer, then why would you say something about that for your particular demographic for any other show or movie? Why don't you just live vicariously through the other characters then? So, with that said, we had a movie where Black men and Black women had someone to look up, or young Black boys and girls had someone to look up to. This movie, nah. Neither Black boys ain't had nobody to look up to.
I'm just gonna keep it. Can I keep it a buck?
Go and keep it a buck. I don't think
no Black kid have nobody to look up to, male or female, regardless, because I just feel like it's just a thing. Like, if the way we're framing it with Shuri, other than the intelligence or whatever, but far as the decision making, it's more of you're looking at a story of struggle, and you're looking at a Black family that kind of got decimated over 2 movies. I ain't even worried about who the hell looks up to who at this point. It's whatever. That's just out the mind. You know, we had it.
But I mean, these are superhero movies. We're supposed there is someone who's heroic. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw, Shuri had her heroic moment. Okoye had her heroic moment. Riri had her heroic moment. Riri's super duper smart. She's smarter than her professors, which actually means that she shouldn't be going to that school. But we know we have to put her there to establish that she's smart, because we need traditional establishment to establish that somebody's smart. But that's a whole other thing. We didn't need those things to establish that other people in the Marvel universe were smart, but that's a whole other discussion. My antennas are hot, so I'm gonna let that go.
Well, you know, they still got their degrees too. You know,
yeah, but you don't see them have to hang some traditional institution on Reed.
You know why?
On
they
Tony.
Were born rich. They was born rich. They was born rich. That's why. So she had to go hustle out the mud and go get that cash.
She had to get that cheese.
She had to get her cheese, and she had to get her degree, even though she already smarter than the person who can validate the degree. That's like life in general anyway. So I'm just saying, you know, she got to get her status.
Even though like it was some non-listening going on, but in general, guys, this movie coming to a close. I'll say my final thoughts. I'll throw it over to matter of fact, Keith. I'll throw it over to you. Final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Final thoughts. I did enjoy the movie. Even with some flaws and some holes, I just feel like it is the end. It just feels that
Yeah.
way for me. I can't feel no other way about it until they make me feel any other way. I'm open to it. I selfishly want Ryan Coogler involved. I feel like that's the only way to make me not feel nauseous or sick because I'm still punch gut from Ramonda. I hope that wasn't his decision. They just had to do it. I do want Angela Bassett. She better get an award for this. That's the only way that just keeps this going for me. I like Namor, man. Like he's
Yeah.
the character is a piece of piece of crap for what he did. But if you want a villain, he gave you a villain, and he went all the way out. He's going to eventually have a little bit of an anti-hero turn, and then unfortunately, nobody's going to give a damn about Queen Ramonda. Unfortunately, all your other friends could be like, "Oh, we don't care no more." So while we still feeling sick to the stomach, I might still feel sick to the stomach. I'm still going to enjoy his acting and what he do. And I do love that they made him a menace, a superhero villain menace. He just what he's supposed to be? I give it an 8.5 out of 10. That's the rating I gave it. I would have gave it a 9, even minus the heaviness. But you're killing off the queen, and then it feels so final. I had to knock it a little bit for that. But did
Okay.
I enjoy it? Do I feel like Letitia Wright changed my mind that she can be Black Panther? Last fighting, I can't lie, I love the last scene of her fighting.
I mean, technically, even though that
It's
wasn't
just,
her, but I mean,
but you know what I'm saying. It's just the acting,
the
even
acting
minus
wise, she was cool.
acting wise, she did it. So I'm not gonna be, I'm gonna also keep it real. I'm not gonna be like these blue check idiots out here. Oh, it's the greatest thing of sliced bread. No, 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 not for me. I ain't gonna go that far, but I'm gonna avoid all the cap online. Hope y'all enjoy my review when y'all hear my thoughts. My full review that me and Mark did. But overall, you should go see it. It still is Black excellence, if you will. Love the cast. Love Lupita. Look good to me. Look great. But overall, I'm going to watch this again probably in my house. I can't do the tragedy just because for me. I don't want to do
Yeah,
that. I don't. So
yeah,
I need Black
that's not
Panther
for
to
me.
be a little. I want a little bit happier of Black Panther. I don't need jokes, but I need a little bit lighter adventure going forward. Ah, great tragedy is what it is. Great tragedy.
Yeah, I don't know if I can score this movie because I don't know where I would put it out of 10. Do I think okay? Do I think the movie's good and entertaining? Yes, but also no, because like I have to weigh, okay, just entertainment value. This thing is flashy, it's well directed, well shot, well acted, the costumes are awesome. The villain turn, and even especially when he's not particularly a villain, really, he just, like I said, is he just hyper practical? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, look, y'all opened up the world to know what this thing is, and now they looking for it, and looking for it brought up them here. So we need you to stop this man. So I mean, I even get that, but then also knowing that media does not live in a bubble, and media, in many cases, not even in many cases, in all cases, media is how a society or a set of systems establishes a value or a moral code or value or what they see in the society. And I got issues all through here with the representation and kind of the destruction of the only Black royal family that we had. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I don't know. I don't know. I
I
don't hate
mean,
the movie. I don't hate it.
it's
I think it's cool, man. I don't know. I don't know where I'll
it's
put it.
it's
I'm
kind of
middle of the
par.
road, but I don't hate the movie. I do think the
It's
movie's good to for for the things that it shows. It's just I also have to weigh not only the art, but what the art does, the impact of the art. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, one of the reasons why I said Black Panther was one of the best movies, not only in Marvel, but in comic book movies, period, was its actual impact, its cultural impact. You know, a statement on art or how good art is how it impacts, what the impact is. And when Black Panther impacted the world the way it did, I had to give it credit for that. When Black Panther Wakanda Forever impacts the world the way it does, or the way I see it impacting the world or not impacting the world, I gotta kind of take that into consideration too. And when you ain't got but one black royal family and all of them have been murdered or you know been killed in some kind of way that's that's negative, instead of just like passing from old age kindly in his sleep with his family surrounding him, you know what I'm saying? I got to think about that.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know where I would. I don't know. I don't know where I put it, but I do think the movies. I think the movie is another check mark for Ryan Coogler. I think he showed that he could do it again. I think that he showed that he could handle numerous villains. You know, you got the CIA up in here. You got them kind of globetrotting in a sort of like James Bond fashion. You got players that are kind of being moved as power players as the MCU goes forward. So given the kind of, I'm sure, the directives that came down from MCU, like we want to set this and this and up, it's good. So do I think you should see it? Yeah. Be aware that, they leave out half of a demographic of Black culture in this film. And I don't really know where to put that. So yeah, I think that's where I'll leave it. I still don't know. But guys, holla at us. We're going to holla at you down in them comments. Keith, tell them where they can find you.
Find me at blurred.ish on IG, Keith Cooper on Facebook, blurred_ish on Twitch. I'm almost affiliate. If you like games, if you like action, I'm playing something called Midnight Fight Express. I'm almost finished it. Please follow, like, subscribe, give us views. We're trying to monetize the Twitch site. So got that going on. Got a merch sale going on every single week in November for holidays. Probably gonna be up until a certain point through December as well. So you can get you some Sherry shirts. You can get you some Blurted shirts. You can get you a Miles shirt like what NERDSoulite is wearing right now. Bam, he got it up. He representing tough. So it's just that's what we got going on here. And of course, if you want Black comics and different things, I can ship, get you something for your holidays, get it in now. Don't wait. Grab some things, even from my third-party store. So that's what we got going on. And just one more note for the movie. I saw a mile away that Ross was gonna get arrested. I knew she had that. I ain't mentioned that. I knew she had it, but had something bugged. And he fell for it. When she said, I'm gonna come about the Peloton, and I was like, Ross, she got you, dog. So she messing with your
Yeah,
head.
she got you, dog. You let her come up in there. She was talking about making love and stuff. Next thing you know,
So I'm riding your Peloton. Next thing you say, you look real good, player. Looking
she was
good.
like, you look good. You've been working out.
Next thing you know, you arrested. So you
That's
bulletproof cold busted out here.
He trusted a flat butt and a smile. I'm just playing. Look, I believe in love. Look. NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the places. Hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. We love all y'all.
I just had to throw that about Ross. I was like, damn, Ross. Hey,
they had to get you like that, Ross.
Ross, he a man with no country.
He was like, ooh, I think she liked me. He's like, no. She pulled the handcuffs out. She pulled the handcuffs out the bread box. Well, I didn't want the bread box, but it just sounded good to say bread box.
Is James Bond and Tom Cruise character is jumping out the window. That's how they go. That's how that spy going out. Like Mission Impossible. He wouldn't. Oh boy, Nathan. What's his name? Nathan something. He wouldn't win out like that.
Dang, what is the dude from Mission Impossible's name? I can't think of his name now. But Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt would have been like, nah, I ain't going out like that. Look, I don't care if I gotta hang on to the side of a plane. You ain't gonna catch me.
Ross something about to go up the river.
Ross was sitting in that bus by himself, sad.
About to start singing them old prison hymns.
Oh man,
that was the humor for me.
Ross, he was up in that bus, like he was in that transport. He was like stuck in a basement, stuck on a tricycle. Girls getting on my nerves. Thought I was fine. I lost my mind. Didn't know if the body was hers. Anyway, we out, man. We out. Look, it's over. It's all over. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Atlanta. There's a lot of stuff on the channel that is slightly changing, but it's going to get better. I can't tell y'all everything, but what I can tell you is that things are going to get cooler. You're going to need a couple months to get weird, but then they're going to get cool on the channel. So just let it get weird and then flow out.
You got to be ready for the weird.
Got to be ready for the weird. So from us to you, thank you for chilling. We're going to leave y'all with some dope comics. And so next time, peace. We out, and we out.
You got to know that if you keep dwelling in the past, you will remain in the past. Can I get a fucking yeah?
Good day, gentlemen. This is a pre-recorded briefing made prior to your departure, in which for security reasons of the highest importance has been known on board during the mission. Now that you are in Jupiter's space and the entire crew is revived, it can be told. 18 months ago, the first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered. It was buried 40 feet below the lunar surface, near the crater Patron. Except for a single, very powerful radio emission aimed at Jupiter, the 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose still a total mystery.